Neymar, why he never became the king of football. Imagine this. You're talented, not promising, not maybe. You're obviously gifted. People see it early. They clap before the move is finished. They celebrate you before the result even matters. You grow up hearing things like, he's different. He has no ceiling. This kid is special. And slowly, on it without realizing it, you start living with a dangerous feeling. I already made it. Here's the thing. When everything comes fast, when the world bends around your talent, when applause arrives before sacrifice, you never develop the urgency to change. So here's the uncomfortable question. Did Neymar fail because of lack of talent, or because his psychological structure was never built like Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo? Because talent was never the problem. My name is Mr. Green, and I spend way too much time thinking about how legends are built and how they're wasted. If you're someone who believes talent is enough or someone who wonders why people with everything to win still don't, make sure to subscribe and leave a like on this video. Look, this isn't hate. This isn't disrespect. This is an uncomfortable analysis because Neymar isn't a failure, but he was never a king, and understanding why says more about real life than most people want to admit. Neymar grows up in Brazil, a country where football isn't just a sport, it's identity, it's escape, it's survival. From a young age, his talent is absurd. Not good, not rare, absurd. Natural dribbling, pure creativity, an instinctive relationship with the ball. But here's the first psychological detail people overlook. Neymar didn't grow up in extreme deprivation. He grew up protected. A present father, a supportive family, an environment designed to reduce pain. And that matters more than people think, because when the world protects you too early, pain never becomes your teacher. It becomes something others try to remove from your path. Messi and Cristiano grew up solving problems. Neymar grew up being celebrated for avoiding them, and that leaves a mark. When Neymar breaks out at Santos FC, he doesn't arrive as a student. He arrives as a show. The kid doesn't just play well, he entertains. And here, a dangerous identity forms. Neymar doesn't see himself as a builder. He sees himself as an artist. And listen, that's not bad, until you compare it to what ruling an era actually requires. Artists seek expression. Conquerors seek control. And Neymar learns early that playing free works, improvisation gets rewarded, joy brings results. So why suffer? This is where the story quietly breaks. When everything feels easy, you never develop tolerance for prolonged discomfort. When Neymar arrives at FC Barcelona, the world says, this is it, the future king. But psychologically, this wasn't his kingdom, because Messi was there, and Messi wasn't spectacle. He was silent structure. Messi didn't need to demand authority. Neymar did. And slowly, Neymar enters a constant comparison. Am I as good as him? Why does everything orbit around him? Why does he dominate without forcing it? Here's the key. Neymar didn't lose on ability. He lost on psychological positioning. He was never the structural center. He was the talent in orbit. And for someone raised as the focal point, that hurts. Let's be honest. Messi and Cristiano were constructed. Neymar was expressed. Messi turned training into ritual. Cristiano turned pain into identity. Neymar turned football into pleasure. And this isn't moral judgment, it's psychological difference. Talent is a spark. Discipline is sustained fire. Neymar never developed structured hunger, not because he didn't want to win, but because he never learned to suffer strategically. When Neymar moves to Paris Saint-Germain, people say, now it's his team. But psychologically, this was a quiet mistake. Because PSG didn't demand structure, it offered freedom. And freedom without discipline doesn't create kings, it creates expensive comfort zones. This is what most people completely miss. Neymar didn't avoid training, he avoided the discomfort of transformation. He leaned into immediate pleasure, parties, distractions, external validation. Not because he was weak, but because his mind was never trained to delay gratification. People love to say, injuries ruined Neymar. But psychology says something else. Injuries don't destroy careers, they expose fragile structures. Messi and Cristiano used pain as feedback. Neymar experienced it as interruption, and stagnation followed. Less continuity, less obsession, more frustration, more escape. The issue was never the body. It was the relationship with sacrifice. Neymar never fully built the identity of an absolute leader because leadership isn't about shining, it's about carrying expectations, carrying boredom, carrying repetition, carrying loneliness. And Neymar never wanted that role. He wanted freedom, he wanted joy, he wanted expression. And that's valid, but it doesn't build empires. Neymar was just as talented. True, maybe more creative. PSG was the problem. No, it was the mirror. He had too much pressure. No, he never had the right pressure. Talent didn't fail Neymar, structure did. Neymar is not a failure. He's a warning. Living proof that talent without structure does not dominate eras. Because greatness doesn't reward talent. It rewards obsession, structure, and sacrifice. Neymar had everything, except the discomfort required to become king. And that's the hardest lesson of all. If this made you uncomfortable, good. That's where truth lives. See you in the next one. Here's the part most people don't want to sit with. Neymar's injuries didn't just stop his body, they stopped the only phase of his career that could have forced real evolution. Injuries are supposed to be the moment when a great player simplifies, adapts, and rebuilds himself beyond raw talent. For Messi, pain became refinement. For Cristiano, pain became fuel. For Neymar, pain became interruption. Every time his body broke down, the game moved forward. And he kept trying to return as the same player in a body that no longer allowed it. That's not bad luck. That's a missed transformation. And look, if you're a Neymar fan, this isn't hate. This is respect through truth. Because appreciating a player also means being honest about what held him back. So if you like Neymar, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments which player or story you want me to break down next. Because the psychology behind greatness is deeper and more uncomfortable than most people think.